All righty. Good morning. Bank Hayes in the building. What's going on, brother? How you feeling, man? Gilbert Jimenez, Antonio Shia, All Things, Jay Henderson, Bank Hayes, Denali Smith, Contrell LeGroux, Ray Patterson in the building. VA Bella Beauty. What's going on? Somebody spread out. What is that? Oh, that's Gervonta doing a backflip. Okay. Mr. Bono. Good morning, Mr. Bono. Good morning, Mr. Bono. Nuke the Duke in the building. What's going on, man? Vi Ferrer. Ray Patterson. Wait for you guys to come on in the building this wonderful Thursday. Let me put a goal in the chat because it is Super Chat Thursday, so I'm going to lean upon you and ask for donations today. Friday, I will not ask for shit. I will not ask for any support on Friday because I know Friday is just got paid. Hold on one second, man. I gotta put my goal up here, man. What is this? That's not what I want. I want to copy the link. Give me 1 second. I love these commercials, man. I'm sorry I got to put commercials in the videos. That's what I want to do. Go to 10. Just so we can get 10 10s. I don't think we can, but we'll try. If we don't, God is great all day, every day. What the? All right, there you go. Tis what I needed to do. Today, what are we going to talk about? We will be talking about Gervonta Davis's resume, bro. We're going to talk about Gervonta Davis's resume today because I feel like talking about Gervonta Davis's resume because I swear to God, bro, these people tear at this kid so much for a dude that I have enjoyed every single solitary one of this dude's fights, bro. I'm looking for the bad fight. I have not seen a bad fight from this guy. But anyway, anybody wants to debate the fact that Gervonta Davis has never had a fight, he's never fought anybody, I would be very interested to hear this shit. Because the truth of the matter is, bro, that dude has a better resume than Shakur, way better resume than Keyshawn, better resume than Devin Haney, better resume. He has a better resume than all these dudes. You know what the main part of it is? The main part of the resume is that he keeps performing under the big lights, and he's performed every time. They said they hating on Tank for no reason. No, they're hating on Tank for a reason. Why not talk about Devin's resume? He got the best. He to fake you because you got Jose Ramirez on his resume. That's why you don't talk about because all of Devin Haney's resume is filled with garbage ass fights. The fights themselves were garbage. Fanon, does Pitbull deserve a fight with Tank if he beats Roach? Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Actually, he deserves a fight with Shakur Stevenson because that's who Pitbull crew. That's who Shakur is trying. Who's trying to fight Shakur next is Lamont Roach. Yeah, but Lamont Roach. I want Lamont Roach to get the Shakur Stevenson fight because more than likely, and this is because I got this from Knockout Boxing 86 TV. I did not. I will tell you where I get shit from if I can. And since he said it on my channel, I can say that he said it. That is Knockout Boxing 86 says if Lamont Roach, if Manny Pacquiao beats Rolly, then Gervonta is probably going to wind up fighting Manny Pacquiao. And if that's true, I'm really happy for Gervonta because Gervonta's getting out of the bullshit. And I got nothing but respect and love for guys. Come on, Fanon. Devin's got elite elders on his resume. Yeah, he's never fought anybody his own age, bro. The one time he fought somebody his own age, he got his ass knocked out and beat up. Devin got beat up by Rolly Romero. I don't believe Rolly. I mean, he got beat up by Ryan Garcia. I don't buy that Austrian shit, bro. I think that Austrian shit is made up, bro. I think they pulled out that Austrian shit. They pulled out a whammy on Ryan Garcia so Devin could stay undefeated. I'm just going with Devin got his ass whooped by Ryan Garcia, who Gervonta Davis whooped. Okay, so that's what I'm going with. Gervonta's got a better resume than Devin because pretty much Devin's on Ryan. Devin is 1 degree away from being on Gervonta Davis's resume. Okay, I'm not trying to hear it. And by the way, then when Ryan was clean, Ryan got beat by somebody that Gervonta Davis also beat. So Devin got his ass beat up by Ryan Garcia. Rolly beat Ryan Garcia. Gervonta beat Ryan Garcia. That puts Devin's resume, that puts Gervonta Davis's resume above Devin's right there. And anybody got to go 24 rounds with George Kambosos. Bro, there ain't no way Tank's going 24 rounds with George Kambosos. When you're looking at the resume, you also got to look at what happened in the fight. In the fight, he got Lomachenko on his resume, but he lost to Lomachenko. That ain't no good. That ain't a good one. You know what I mean? My opinion, that shit looked just like Lamont. That's like Gervonta bragging about Lamont Roach. Really? Isaiah Burson, what's up, man? Ms. Taz said Tank made all them dudes relevant, just like Spence got TC bigger. Devin has no power. Shakur has no power. What we talking about? I mean, that is what it is. Ms. Tad, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. I want somebody to come up here and argue with me, though. I want somebody to come up and argue with me and tell me that Ryan Garcia's resume is better than Gervonta's. No. Shakur's resume is not better than Gervonta's. No. Devin's not better than Gervonta. No. Teofimo Lopez's resume is not better than Gervonta. No. Neither is Jermaine Ortiz. No. Neither is Regis Prograis. No. Neither is Gary Antoine Russell's. Neither is Richardson Hitchens. Neither is Liam. I'm serious, man. I'm going through all these niggas. Who are these guys with these great resumes? You can say, man, Bud's got a better one. Maybe Canelo's got a better one. Bro, but you're not really talking about a lot of people, bro. You know what I mean? They said Kambosos got a better resume, Martin. They said Kambosos got a better resume than Tank. Kambosos got his ass whooped twice by Devin Haney. He also got his ass whooped by fucking Lomachenko, knocked him out. How is that? See, they think that the resume means you can put there just because you see a name. Hey, look, bro, watch this shit. If I turn professional, but if I turn into a professional boxer next month and I manage to get a fight with David Benavidez and David Benavidez beats the dog shit out of me, that doesn't mean that I have a better resume just because I got the dog shit beaten out of me by David Benavidez. The only way you have a better resume, it should be if you win the fight. You know what I mean? Deborah Booker in the building. Thank you so much. Good morning, Fanon. Hope is all well with you and your family. Tank is held to a higher standard. Tank is their love affair, man. I love Tank. They love Tank. They love Tank, bro. I'm telling you, the haters love Tank. Because they have to, it's because no, he's got a better resume than Devin. Because Devin stunk up the gym. Devin stunk up the gym. He was scared to death of Jose Ramirez, bro. Okay, you cannot tell me that a guy that's scared to death of Jose Ramirez in the boxing ring, that is a good win. That is a terrible fucking win, bro. It was such a terrible win that they wouldn't even make the fight between Ryan and Devin. No, bro. Do we forget the debacle, which was the ring card boy fight? Hey, said Deborah Booker said, I am a Tank fan, and yes, I love Tank, Team Tank forever. Hey, dog, ride with Team Tank. Melvin, what is this? Devin Mill versus Brian. What about that? What about it? Brian Norman's a prospect. Brian Norman is a prospect, bro. No, he's not. Brian Norman is at a time, and I fucks with Brian Norman. Don't get me wrong, I fucks with Brian Norman. But I'm fucking around today, so don't get too mad about anything I say today. I'm gonna have fun, bro. Seriously, I feel freed. Kambosos had a good night. That's it. Yeah, I mean he had a win off Tio. Kambosos has a better resume than Gervonta. No chance. He's got 3 losses. How can he have a better resume? He's got 3 losses. You know, I know that logic. I know the logic. The logic is you're just trying, when somebody says that, they're just looking at the people he fought. So basically what they're saying is because he's a journeyman that everybody is willing to fight, he has a better resume. Get the fuck out of here. Let me repeat that so in case it went by the slowpokes. What you're trying to do when you say that George Kambosos has a better resume than Gervonta Davis, you're trying to give a journeyman credit for getting in the ring with a bunch of B-plus fighters. Journeymen are supposed to have hard fights. You cannot tell me just because Emmanuel Augustus fought every fucking body, that means he has a better resume than everybody. Fuck out of here. That's like saying Sean Porter has a better resume than Gennady Golovkin because look who he lost to. I mean, serious, you can say that. You could be the same logic. I can use Sean Porter's got a better resume than Canelo Alvarez because look, I mean, he's got a better resume than Gennady Golovkin because look who Sean Porter fought. Sean Porter fought Terrence Crawford. He fought Errol Spence. He fought Danny Garcia. He fought Keith Thurman. He fought Kell Brook. Look at all those guys he fought. He fought better fighters than Gennady Golovkin fought. Only people Gennady Golovkin fought was Canelo. That's the argument. That's the argument. But only problem with the argument is Sean Porter lost all those damn fights. Okay? The only person he beat was Danny Garcia. All right? That's the only one. Only one he beat was Danny Garcia. Just because you fought him doesn't, just because Kambosos fought Lomachenko doesn't mean he beat it. Doesn't mean he beat him. Okay, just because George Kambosos fought Devin Haney doesn't mean he beat him, and he beat Teofimo Lopez. All right, so we can do all that if you want to do that. You know what I mean? Talk about who you lost to, and then say that's part of your resume, and you get credit for that. No worries. Then for sure tell Floyd to shut the fuck up. Talking about Muhammad Ali. If that's the case, then Floyd can shut the entire fuck up talking about his resume against other guys because guess what? They lost to other guys. They had 60 plus fights and lost to guys. So if you're just giving them credit for who they lost to, no, the fuck out of here. George Kambosos, and who cares? George Kambosos has a better resume. He can't fight. He can't fight nearly as well as Gervonta can. And you know that shit. So why are you pulling his name out your ass, man? Miss Taz said, Tank is their meal ticket. Nobody can put their butts in seats like Tank. Ryan can because of his social media status with the chicks. Tank all day, baby. Yes, ma'am. Tank all day, baby, because them chicks do like him. Let me put this link in this chat, see if somebody want to call me crazy this morning. As long as you do it politely, we won't send no gunners at you. All right? We promise we won't send none of them pop-pops at you if you just don't act the fool. Gotta love it, man. Yeah, Tank is definitely their meal ticket, man. But that's all right. That's what it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? That's what it's supposed to be, man. That's what it's supposed to be. Their Tank is supposed to be their meal ticket. They're supposed to be hating on Tank. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing. That's a natural part of life, bro. It's a natural part of life. Hold on.
My boxing fans, I'm excited to let you know I will be returning to the ring January 24 in Las Vegas. I am looking forward to working with industry. It is going to be an exciting and special event. Stay tuned, more news to come on my opponent in the next few days. Thank you, everyone. Hello to all my boxing fans. I'm excited to let you know I will be returning to the ring January 24 in Las Vegas. I am looking forward to working with industry. It is going to be an exciting and special event. Stay tuned, more news to come on my opponent in the next few days. Thank you, everyone.
Man, let me tell you, bro. Let me tell you, dog.
Man, I'm excited. Like I said, I told you guys y'all be seeing a lot of me coming in from my last fight, leading all the way up until the match itself. I told you guys what I'm here to do. I want to bring boxing back. I want to bring old school boxing back. I want to bring boxing back to its glory days. And I think me accepting this fight with Pitbull Cruz in another weight class, it just shows to prove that I'm here, and I'm definitely going to give you guys a banger. Pitbull Cruz is a hell of a fighter, explosive fighter, fighters that you guys like to see. And I'm definitely the great dance partner to go along with him and complement his style. So just be tuned. It's going to be what you guys expect. And hopefully you guys are expecting me to win, obviously. But, that's exactly what it's going to be, a great show.
Hey, man, I got to give him some shine, man. I got to give him some shine. Anton, what's going on, man? Crown the Best, what's going on with you this morning?
Good morning. Good morning.
What's up, Fanon?
I'm good, man. Can't complain. Pushing it through. What's up?
Somebody had a nerve yesterday. I was watching, and they was
Hey, can you take
arguing.
yourself off camera? You have a way to take yourself off camera if you're not going? Yeah. Or either on camera or off camera. Thanks.
No, I'm on. I'm taking off. I'm
Okay.
parking some trailers. All right. Yeah. People was talking about whether Gervonta Davis has made these guys stars or not, and or relevant or not, and it's just like, come on, man. Dudes is saying that Ryan Garcia is more popular in boxing than Tank. Ryan Garcia is popular on social media, like you said, his social media following, but nobody was checking for Ryan Garcia. Nobody was checking. Why do you think Devin fought Ryan Garcia? Because he's seen the numbers that him and Tank did. They tried to go after the same thing and it flopped. Main cuz got paid out of net profit, like you said yesterday. Isaac Pitbull Cruz, Rolly, all of these guys. After they fought Gervonta Tank Davis, that's when they start getting these bigger opportunities. Because for some reason, Pitbull Cruz went 12 rounds with Tank. It was an exciting fight. It was a good fight, even though Tank won, and he had one hand. Rolly, I guess he put up a good fight for 6 rounds, then he got knocked out. Ryan got knocked out. So, these guys Ryan has never even held a belt. Ryan has never been a champion.
Hey, you gotta start me off, bro. You got to give me a little context, bro. I'm confused as fuck. So you got to give me some context.
So the conversation was, did Gervonta Davis make these 3 guys that I just named into names in boxing or stars in boxing?
That's a fact.
Okay, so somebody asked a question. There was a live stream. Somebody had a live stream, and that was the question. Did Gervonta Davis make these guys stars? Did he make them relevant?
Yes.
That's fucking ridiculous because you're on a live stream literally talking about the guys. So he made them relevant because they're talking about him. But go ahead. Now I know what you're saying. Now you let me know again. Now, so what's your issue?
Yeah, my issue is that people was literally saying that Ryan made Tank a star because he wasn't able to generate those same pay-per-view numbers after he fought Ryan and before he fought Ryan. Okay, so did Ryan generate those same numbers after he fought Tank? No. Ryan was only on pay-per-view one time after that with Devin Haney.
And they didn't make no money.
They didn't make nothing. So I'm confused. I don't be understanding people's narrative. But what you're talking about as far as Tank's resume, to be honest, the only person that I will put up there is an argument, even with Tank, is Teofimo Lopez.
Well, let's stay on the one. Let me stay on the one, the first one.
Okay.
Where you say that did Gervonta that look at how this works, man. Everybody is going to have their number one selling pay-per-view. Everybody. There is Floyd Mayweather Jr. never got higher pay-per-views than when he fought Manny, right? Never. He didn't get anywhere near that when he fought the very next pay-per-view he was on when he fought Andre Berto. The pay-per-view, if you're the A side of the pay-per-view, your biggest fight tells you what your potential is. If you have a great matchup, right? So that tells you that Gervonta Davis, because Gervonta Davis headlined that card. He headlined that. It was Gervonta versus Ryan. It wasn't Ryan versus Gervonta. That's why the fight was over on fucking PBC. When the fight wasn't over there on Golden Boy. Gervonta was the one that was doing pay-per-views. Ryan had never been on a pay-per-view, ever. So anyway, so the idea that because Gervonta Davis got his biggest number with one guy, bro, if you do that, you can take mean, medium, and mode and throw that out if you'd like. But the only problem is you're going to get this $130 million paper. You're going to have a bigger one.
You're muted.
They always do that stupid shit. They always try to say that somebody wasn't responsible for the pay-per-view that they sold. They're also going to say, well, this guy never did it when he fought somebody else. But shit, you could say in that case, Floyd never sold more than Manny Pacquiao. Did that mean Manny Pacquiao made Floyd a star? No, because he was doing pay-per-views bigger. He was doing other big pay-per-views before that. Gervonta was already doing 200,000, 300,000 pay-per-views on his own. And that was in a pay-per-view market where they're trying to do is just absorb costs. So yeah, man, that shit is crazy as shit. But there's always an argument to make Gervonta Davis look bad.
All right, so can I go to that point that you were talking about with the Gervonta's resume thing though? So if that's the case, right? Because that argument is super flawed.
I just want somebody to make the argument. I'm hoping somebody will get on there and make the argument.
Oh yeah, that's
you know what I mean. Because that's what I want to hear, somebody actually make the argument. But go ahead, man.
If you say that those guys have a better resume than Tank, then you have to go to all the bum fighters that lost that fight and say that their resume is better than every fighter, every top fighter, because they fight everybody and lose to everybody. That's a flawed argument. It's remedial, man. I'm sorry. It is. That's all I had. You gotta if you're gonna make that argument and say that, Sean Porter, you would have to say Sean Porter's resume is better than Bud's, it's better than Earl's, it's better than everybody's. If that's the case, but that's not. That argument is
it's silly because it basically means that journeymen all have better resumes than champions. Gabriel Rosado, I can't imagine how good Gabriel Rosado's resume is. Or how good Richard Comey's resume is. Richard Comey fought everybody. Ray Beltran fought everybody. Like, you can do that shit with every garbage man that fights in the game. You know what I mean? That comes out there. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. That's just a silly ass argument.
Yeah, but that's all I have for now. I'm going back to the background.
All right, brother, get back.
Yeah, Teal is the only person that I could, even me personally, myself, and I still think Tank's resume is better, but I believe that Teofimo Lopez's resume is better than the next set of guys, as in Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, and those guys. I think out of that whole group, Tank has the best resume, and then Theo, and then you can go down the list and pick whoever you want to pick. But I don't think none of those guys have a better resume than Tank, because a lot of people that Devin Haney fought either went on to be nothing or went on it was old and went on to retire. The guys that Tank fought are now, 3 of those guys are champions. Well, 2 of them are champions, Rowley and Barrios, and Pitbull Cruz is about to fight for an interim title, or they're fighting for a real belt. He was already champion.
I'm sorry, I missed that. I'm sorry. Who are you talking about? I'm sorry, I missed that.
No, I'm saying, when we compare the people that these guys fought, I'm saying the guys that Devin beat, they went on to either retire or not do nothing in boxing. Meanwhile, Tank fought 3 guys that went on to become champions.
Man, I ain't trying to hear shit about Devin. That nigga fought Yuriorkis Gamboa, bro.
After Tank already knocked him out.
They called him washed up when Tank fought him.
Right.
They called him, and then he went on and he fought him again, and he went the distance with him. Like he didn't even
See,
knock. And he went the
that's what I was
distance
telling
with
you.
that guy that they were calling. Let me get these two super chats real quick. Deborah Booker in the building say, good morning, Fanon. Hope all is well with you and your family. Man, we pushing it. We doing the best we can. I got a baby girl in law school. That shit's expensive as hell. So thank you so much for that $5 holler. Big Dog Willie said, just want to remind Tank Maniacs, Jake Paul versus Tank isn't a real fight. It's a scripted fake fight. Jake Paul will get hit in the head with a steel chair. No, it's not. It's a real fight. No joke. Go ahead, man.
Yeah. I was gonna say like that stuff with Gamboa, and that's why I've been telling y'all. You know, I said it, and I like that was what I looked at as Devin Haney's last chance to show like, okay, what are you? And after that, I was like, yeah, this guy ain't it. He's not. And that was before I even heard all the nonsense that Bill was doing. Like I didn't find out about the way Bill Haney was until 2 or 3 years after that fight. So I already didn't like Devin. That's why I'm confused about everybody blaming it on his daddy. I'm like, nah, you gotta what y'all been talking about? Like this dude been whack. But as far as resumes, people thinking that Tank don't got a good resume. Like Anton was saying, like look at where Tank's previous opponents is. And then they got Ricardo Nunez, who was quote unquote a nobody, but he's an eliminator with JDR Herrera for Shakur's title. You remember Herrera? You know what when everybody was like, okay, who's going to be the replacement for Schofield? And it came
Mm-hmm.
down to Herrera and Padley, and Shakur picked Padley. So now it's two people who can crack going at it in an eliminator, and Shakur gonna have to fight one of them or drop the belt. But we'll see what happens because if this thing about Tiafimo is true, then Shakur go up to 140. And if he get that belt, okay, is he gonna come back down or is he gonna do this hand me down thing you're talking about? But like when you look at Tank's resume, being real, we look at Devin Haney. The one person Devin Haney has on his resume is Lomachenko. You could maybe throw Gamboa in there just because of who Gamboa was at one point. But at the time Devin Haney fought him, he was just a name. So you got Lomachenko and Gamboa. Looking at Tank's resume, are we going to say Lomachenko and Gamboa for sure beat Rolly Romero? Because I know Rolly Romero is the number one fighter that people try to use to discredit Tank's resume because they say Rolly ain't nothing. Rolly was a WBA mandatory whenever they fought. So we look at that. Looking at Shakur Stevenson, there is nobody on his resume that beats Rolly Romero. Nobody. Not Oscar Valdez, not Jamel Herring, not Conceição. Those are his three biggest wins. Maybe you could throw Zepeda in there if you want to. None of them beat Rolly Romero. And then we got Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez has fought good opposition. I mean, shoot, look at what he's done with fighting Lomachenko, who was on top. He hadn't lost. You know, they just took the belt from him. Same thing with Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor was undisputed, got stripped of the belts. He didn't lose them in the ring. So Teofimo beat the two guys that was at the top. And on top of that, we got who else is around that division that we can say is really up there that people consider to be one of like shoot, even Ryan Garcia got a decent resume compared to some of them people. Like you fought Luke Campbell. That's who Lomachenko beat for his first not his first, but one of his belts at 135. And he's gone up against Emmanuel Tago and who was it? There's another guy. But he used to be a killer. But Ryan had knocked him out. I'm trying to remember his name. His nickname was Bumblebee. So I'm trying to
Fortuna.
remember. Yeah, Javier Fortuna. Javier Fortuna. So that was another one. And those are better names than the guys that Devin is fought outside of Gamboa and Lomachenko, and definitely better than any of the ones that Shakir gone up against. And then with Tank, you got Leo Santa Cruz on the a four division champion. And at the time, Tank fought him like shoot, he was ranked like number one and number two, pound for pound in that weight class. Because and then not just that, he just came off like them two good fights with Carl Frampton at that time. Like Leo Santa Cruz was the dude. And then you look at everything that these other guys have done. Like you can't say they fought more champions, whether you're talking about current, um, future, or even previous champions. You can't say that they got the same as Tank on that, and undefeated, and then ranked top 10 by one of the four sanctioning bodies. That's all Tank's opponents since he fought Zepeda, not Zepeda, but Pedraza for his first title fight. Ever since Pedraza, all Tank's opponents have been ranked top 10 by either of the sanctioning bodies, undefeated, a champion at the time, or multiple of those at once. We can't say the same for Devin's opponents. We can't say the same for Shakir's opponents. And we can't even say the same for Lomachenko, even though, or not Lomachenko, but Tiafimo, even though he's fought some pretty good guys on his resume. Like when people talking about all this saying Tank's resume ain't this and that, that's why I asked them, you tell me one person on any of their resumes who you know for sure beats Orlando Romero, since that's what y'all want to say is trash. Well, Tank didn't unify, only because Devin fought Cambosos. That's the only reason they talk about unifications.
Yeah,
Shakur
unification, but that shit's political. Like they can keep
exactly.
that shit out. That shit's just fucking political. You're basically going to tell people that you're not gonna give people credit for resumes unless they're with certain promoters, because that's the only way at 135 that you're getting any of those unifications is if Bob Arum let you have it. Because Bob, the only reason Devin got him is because Devin signed with Top Rank. And that's pretty much the same thing that they're saying. They're making basically an argument where because somebody is with, especially with the UK heavyweights, like the UK heavyweights, man, this is the worst fucking era of fucking heavyweights. They're fucking garbage. Like they can say what they want about Deontay being garbage and point figures about that, but then they actually turned out to be garbage because every single one of them got whooped by the same fucking guy. Like a dude, a cruiserweight came up and cleaned everybody out of there. It's just the fact that they are a bunch of weak fucking heavyweights. They're weak. The UK heavyweights were weak, but because they have all the belts, you think they're strong. Just like 126, when Gary Russell Jr. was the WBC champion, and pretty much the UK had the rest of the champions, and they would literally act like Gary Russell didn't exist. Meanwhile, you got these dudes losing to Mexican fucking journeymen. So like and the other thing is, like, people for the beginning of the 2000s, like it was a huge conversation in boxing that the sanctioning bodies, problems with the sanctioning bodies is like basically nobody's a real champion, everybody's a title holder. That's where fucking Max Kellerman got that talk about how he didn't really see Gervonta Davis being a champion, because back when he was one of the major dudes talking sports, talking about boxing on HBO, that's what they were fucking pushing. They were pushing the idea that none of these sanctioning bodies, we need to, idea of getting rid of the sanctioning bodies and all of that shit, and not giving people credit for the belts that they have. That's why they don't give credit. They're like, Gervonta's not a 3-division champ, 2-division champ. It's not a real belt. And like, the more they talk shit and you do the history and you read about how these belts were actually determined, and you find out that the WBA belt, which is the belt Gervonta has, is actually the historical belt. He was the guy that actually had to defend mandatories for the WBA. Like, but then they realized that that's the case when it's convenient for them to understand it. They understand it. They understand it when the franchise belt came around. They understood that the franchise belt isn't the real championship, but the WBA super champion is. Oh yeah, it is, because it's Devin. But if it's Devin over here and he doesn't have the WBA super champion, then the super champion doesn't work. These are all a bunch of fucking tools that people are using to manipulate boxing fans into one fandom or the other.
Now, can I ask you a favor?
Yeah, sure.
While Phoenix is talking, can you pull up how many current, former, just pull up how many champions in Tank's And maybe you know off the top of your head, how many champions has Tank Davis beat so far in his career?
Current or
Beat
former? Current
like,
and former, or
yeah,
current
like
or
combined. How many champions he fought and beat?
current or former when he fought him?
Current and former.
All right, it's I don't know off the top of my head that. Yeah, sure, I'll do it. Go ahead, Phoenix. Phoenix, you there? I don't think Phoenix is there. Am I tripping?
He just said something. I don't know if
He's
I
on
don't.
mute.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, how's it go? So yeah, like yeah, I was saying like yeah, I think it's they did have that chart that showed like the breakdown of everyone who's top champions and stuff like that. Like it was floating around a while ago, and I think like the number that Tank had was like 8 or 9, and then after that Devin had like 5, and I think Shakir had like 2, if I remember correctly. So I don't remember precisely because it's been a while since I've seen that. But you remember like I remember that was going around because Bill wanted to talk about
I think it's 10. If you do guys that became champions after him, I think it's either 10 or 11. Francisco
yeah.
Fonseca, I believe Francisco Fonseca held a belt at one point in time. Let me check. Let me hit Francisco Fonseca just to make sure.
If you go to a website,
I'm
on
just gonna look him
StatView,
up. I
that
don't
tells
want
you
to.
everything.
Yeah, but I don't trust the motherfuckers like that.
Okay,
Like
okay.
I'd rather just look. Even though the only fucked up thing about BoxRec now is that they don't have the fucking WBA listed anymore.
Yeah, they changed everything.
So
That's
yeah,
why
they
I don't use
fucked
them no more.
Yeah, they fucked up. They fucked that up. Current number of champions Gervonta Davis fought. Do an AI search.
Okay. Well, like that
8-0 record. He has 8-0 record. Okay, here let me see. Record against world champions. They say Isaac Cruz, Hector Garcia. They have 8 listed. Leo Santa Cruz, Mario Barrios, Yuriokis Gamboa, Jesus Cuellar, Jose Pedraza. They fucked that up. And also they're missing Lamont Roach because Lamont Roach was a world champion at 130 when he fought him.
They got really on that?
So I see 9. Jose Pedraza, Jesus Cuellar, Yuriokis Gamboa, Mario Barrios, Leo Santa Cruz, Rolly Romero, Hector Luis Garcia, Isaac Cruz, but they missed Lamont Roach. Lamont Roach was a reigning champion at the time.
So Bud beat 10 champions so far in his career. It's either 10 or 11. So you telling me Tank, y'all shit on his resume, but he got 2 more champions. Because I remember somebody talking about Danny Garcia had 12 or something like that, and Bud got less than Danny Garcia. That's why they was pushing the Duran in this fight, because he'll be another champion if Bud fights him and beat him on his resume. So Tank has 1 or 2 less than Terrence Crawford, but yet y'all shitting on his resume. Make that make sense.
And
Hold on. Max is not a fucking historian, bro. Max
Never
Kellerman
was
is a boxing fucking historian. Fuck out of here with that. No disrespect to you, Vic. No way. And the lineal has not been around for 139 years. No, it has not. No, it has not. No, it is not. We could go through a long conversation with that, Vic. The lineal has not been around for 139 years. And if you really want to be honest, there is no lineal champion. There is no lineal. And there's definitely no lineal in weight classes. Like, there's no lineal for going back 139 years. Definitely not for 122. Starting at 122, I'll say how many they're not. 122, 130, 140, 154, 168, cruiserweight, bridgerweight. That's at least 7 of them. At least 7 of them that have not been around since before 1960. So no, man. Basically what they did is they broke weight classes in half. So really, the only lineal champions can be the ones in the original 8 weight classes. because everybody else was in that. Think about it. If the weight class when Henry Armstrong was fighting, he was a champion at 130, at 126, 135, and 147 all at the same time. But which meant everybody that weighed between the weight of 118 and 126 fought in that weight class. All the 122ers were in 126. So there is no lineal 122. The lineal 122 is with 126. The lineal 130 is with 135 because all the one there was. It's not like there wasn't 130 pounders back then. There were. They just wasn't. They were just fighting 135 or they had to fight 126. So they just had to pick or choose, but the fighter was there. So you look at what Henry Armstrong did. He was undisputed champion across 6 weight classes at the same time and defended all 3 weight classes in the same year. So there's no lineal for those weight classes. None. If you're a true boxing historian, you know there's no lineal. And by the way, there's no lineal because lineal what? That's all that they're trying to do is point to Ring Magazine. When they say lineal, they mean Ring Magazine. And Ring Magazine was not around for 139 years. National Geographic has been around for 139 years. Not that. You know what I'm saying? That shit's been around since the 1920s, 1930s. And they didn't start naming champions and shit for 30 more years after that. So where in the world did the Ring Magazine become consistent with lineal? That's what these dudes are trying to do. He's trying to give people the credit for the lineal. And exactly where is Max Kellerman when Max Kellerman is saying these things? He's sitting on the Ring podcast. Yeah, he's sitting on the Ring talking about Gervonta. Because why? Because Gervonta's never been a Ring Magazine champion. That's what Max Kellerman is really saying. He's really saying that these guys have not been Ring Magazine champions before. Who the fuck cares about whether or not they were the Ring Magazine champion or not? That's why the Ring makes that belt look like that old ass belt like they used to have that was made out of cloth. That's why they still use that really old because they're scamming. That's not boxing. Max, let me tell you something. Ring Magazine is not boxing history. Okay, that is not boxing history is what's actually taking place, not what they're writing it, not what they motherfuckers write down. And they're acting like about man, I remember when I was talking to Dan Rayfield about lineal, and they said that Vladimir Klitschko was lineal. Vladimir Klitschko was never anybody's fucking lineal. He was only the Ring Magazine champion. And he said, well, it was because the number 1 and the number 2 heavyweights fought. Who by the number 1 and number 2 according to who? And he said according to consensus. I was like, Dan, consensus of who? Consensus of boxing writers. Get to the answer, nigga. Get to the answer. You're saying because the consensus of the boxing media says something, that makes it true, right? And so what are they now doing to Gervonta? They collect the consensus of the boxing media, make up a line and try to make it true. That he's never been a champion before. Why? Because they've never named him champion before. Because the Ring has never named him champion before. That's a con. That's not real. And that's why they're trying to get rid of all the belts. Why? So they can name the champion. They don't want you guys to fight for championships. They want to name who the champion is. And then they'll put you in a fight. But then if they say, oh, well, we don't think that this is good enough a fight, well, you haven't fought long enough, or you didn't fight the person we want to, we're gonna take the champion from you. Man, you realize they set up a ring? This is how much of a mind fuck these dudes be doing. They hold on, I gotta hit that. You got shit backing up. These dudes, God, I lost my train of thought because of the beeping. Anyway,
I think I knew where you was going with that because Ring Magazine, I think they've been sued 2 or 3 times over there because they had their writers basically fixing fights and matchups because they be writing certain ways about some fighters and writing certain ways about others to get them elevated in the rankings and get certain fights to take place. And they found out there was like ratings manipulation, so they've been in trouble 2 or 3 times for that.
A
But
ring head.
yeah,
I mean, they're not. They are not a. They are not an uninterested party, and they try to control. You can't be. They're trying to literally make the media control boxing. It's the media's attempt to control boxing. That's it. It is. It's the writers. It's those guys trying to put their weight on what the value of a fighter is. Do you remember when right before HBO went out of business? HBO went out of boxing. There was a guy named Peter King that was the director, the guy that was running HBO boxing. I think he took over after Ludabella, or maybe what's up, Greg Hackett? It was either he was there before. Anyway, the guy was named Peter King. He had the same job that Ludabella used to have, but he was a journalist. And what he said was that he was going to let the media decide what it was that boxing fans wanted. And that's how they got the Boxing Writers Association convinced HBO to start promoting Eastern European fighters like Gennady Golovkin, Vasily Lomachenko, Sergey, what's my guy's name? That Sergey Kovalev was definitely one of them. I was thinking of the guy, one of the original ones. There was two cold-blooded ones. One was fucking Dmitry Pirog, fucked his back up, and the other one was Vasily Zhurov. But Vasily Zhurov. And then that's when they went into the business of Monster Inoue, and they did after that and before that they had all of the shit with Vladimir Klitschko. The Klitschko brothers were taking over. They tried to move Eastern Europeans and Japanese into the slot that white Americans were missing, and they promoted them to the exclusively over fighters like Floyd, Roy, all of them, motherfuckers, really, all basically, remember, all of these great fighters like that we talk about, like, yeah, they were the coldest, man, they were all got less publicity than the Eastern Europeans did at the time. Roy Jones got less positive promotion out of HBO than fucking Klitschko's did. Vladimir Klitschko specifically. So anyway, they tried to say that Vladimir Klitschko was the lineal champion because he had beaten this guy named Ruslan Shagayev. You remember Ruslan Shagayev?
I didn't follow Klitschko's much, but
yeah. He beat Ruslan Shagayev for a belt, so they named him the lineal champion. Meanwhile, Vitaly Klitschko had the WBC and was fighting at the time. But the Ring magazine, without making it official, because that's not in their rule book, right? That's not in their rule book. So they can't say, like, what happens if they're brothers? So they just said they just named Vitaly number 3 and made Ruslan Shagayev number 2 so they could have a fight together and they can name a ring champion. The same shit happened. Watch this shit. Same shit happened with Tyson Fury. When they said Tyson Fury was the lineal champion, but then Tyson Fury retired. And during the time Tyson Fury retired, I think Tyson Fury retired or dropped the belt. So they were like, hold on, man, Tyson Fury retired, he dropped the belt. How can he be he's not Ring Magazine champion anymore, right? So he was no longer Ring Magazine champion. So he had to be the lineal, right? So it separated lineal from ring champion. No. They turned around and made Alexander Usyk the lineal champion, even though he had not fought Tyson Fury for it, and Tyson Fury came out of retirement. It's just because he dropped the ring belt. That's what Tyson Fury did. Tyson Fury dropped the Ring Magazine belt. So since he dropped the Ring Magazine belt, they couldn't say that he's not the lineal now. So it fucked up their thing. I'm telling you, man. That's why they're partnering with Turki Al-Sheikh, because they want Turki Al-Sheikh and them guys to get rid of all the sanctioning bodies so they can be the ones that are covering that TKO. They can cover but their whole shit is going to fall apart. I'm telling you, I've been following these guys for a minute. Anyway, sorry about that, man. I had to give you a little bit of a history lesson on that one.
All good. I'm gonna put a nail in the coffin before I leave, though.
Okay.
Here's the thing about the resumes. because I know the biggest reason that they bring up this resume talk with Tank is because of Devin Haney. I say this: Tank went ahead and fought a fighter that was in shape, looking good, eating tacos in the middle of training camp, and came to fight. And Devin was fighting with a guy that was out of shape, on coke, drinking, slow as hell, sluggish, and fighting only half the rounds and got his ass whooped. And the guy was an underwear model, a sea level fighter and underwear model, out of shape, and all that. Did that to Devin, and a strong eating tacos in the middle of training day, fast, agile fighter, fought Tank and got stopped. So I'm saying, like, when you look at that and the fact that this fighter in question wasn't even a champion, he wasn't even a champion. He did that to Devin. Oh, and I think that should end the resume talk, because that's the thing about people who was fighting for legacy versus fighting for money. The people who fighting for legacy, when they go to fight for money, they find out the money fights hit different. It ain't the same. And that's one thing that I don't think people realize, that the reason there's money in them fights is because they're more close to 50-50 than you think. And because of that level of intrigue, that's why people want to fight or buy it, because they don't know what's going to happen. That's what happens when you got fighters that are close in skill compared to ones where some guys always ain't even got to wonder about how it's going to turn out. So that's how you know that someone fighting lesser opposition, because don't nobody want to see it. They already assume what the end of the fight is going to be. That's just something to go ahead and let people think about. But yeah, with that, I'll go ahead and peace out.
All right, brother, get back, man. Holler back at you. Deb, hey, Jeep Red Boy, man, much love in that super chat, bro. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. You got anything else, Anton?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to say, man, it's just kind of crazy to me how they try to down certain fighters, man. It's just weird, man. It's
It ain't weird. This shit is very, very organized, dog, and it makes sense because it's repeatable. You see the shit. Just watch it happen this time. I'm telling you, watch the next one. Watch Scooter Davis. If Scooter Davis, like take for example, Scooter Davis. If
Mhm.
Scooter Davis starts picking up pace and he starts going, getting and doing well, they'll do it to Scooter Davis. All you got to do is just wait for them to do it to the next dude. That's when they did it to Jerron. Telling you, the same people did it to Jerron, because Jerron's not going to sign up with them. If you don't sign up with those guys, they're going to shit on you. That's just what it's going to be. If you're not, I'm telling you, if you're not with them, you're against them. So they're going to try to fuck your name up, because they want to play games in every weight division. They want to run. These are guys that want to run boxing. So they are going to do a lot of underhanded shit, and they've been doing a lot of underhanded shit. So just get ready for it in any particular fighter that is not associated with them. One of the number one guys that brought this shit into it is Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn, and so it really did bring in a culture into the United States of talking terrible shit about fighters that are not with him. Like the shit that he made up about Deontay Wilder. I mean, that's a lot of Eddie Hearn, man. That's a lot of those. That's how they came in here doing it. They're going to compete and they're going to convince people on two sides. Number one, their fighters are the best, and number two, the other guys' fighters are terrible. And they go at the other guy's fighter and the reputations of the other guy's fighters. That's what they did. That's what they did to Gervonta. That's what they did to Deontay. That's what they did to Errol. That's what they did. Meantime, and they're also spreading information saying that the promotional companies are going broke so they can compete and get the other fighters to sign with them. Just basic workplace competition that, oftentimes delves down into the scummy areas of life.
But I would think that the PBC, when the PBC was in their heyday, the PBC was giving us the biggest and the best fights in boxing. So that's why it kind of was confusing to me as to like all of the hate directed at the PBC. Like they were giving us the biggest and the best fights. Ain't that what you guys been asking for?
Because the PBC does not pay for play with the media. They don't do it. You don't see Al Heyman. Al Heyman has never given an interview. How many interviews has Bill Haney given? How many interviews has Bob Arum Arum given? How many interviews have all these promoters given? How many has Al Heyman given? Al Heyman has given 0. So that's him giving 0 to the Boxing Writers Association of America. The only thing that they get is they get access to when they're putting on the fights. They will do that. But other than that, they're not doing all of that stuff. So if you're not paying, they're not playing. And on top of it, if you're not playing, they're going to push you. They're going to say bad things about your people if you're not investing some of that money with them. Because if he's making the money, but he's not sharing the money, then there's no interest in it for them to allow him to grow. And they know that they have power and they have the ability to affect what people think of fighters. So they don't want. So they think that should be that is an asset of theirs that they should be able to take advantage of. Mike Coppinger said in an interview, maybe in a couple of years ago now, where he definitely said one of the things that he likes about his job is if people mess with him, that he can punish them, right? Because he's got the power of the pen. So these guys have the power of the pen. They don't really need the power of the pen like that, but the power of the pen was under the influence of Bob Arum at a point in time, because Bob Arum always made sure that he did. Dude, please, Knuckle Sandwich. I'm not in the mood to talk to you, bro, unless you're going to click the link. All right? Click the link, bro. You spread too much misinformation. There are plenty of advisors that talk to the media all the time. Turki Al-Sheikh is not a promoter, but he talks to the media all the fucking time, okay? Al Heyman is the only person in boxing that you know doesn't tweet, isn't on Instagram. Not only does he not, like Bruce, you can hear what Todd DeBuff has to say. You can hear what Ari Emanuel has to say. He's somewhere talking. You know what I mean? You hear what CEOs of major corporations say all the time. But Al Heyman doesn't do it. And Al Heyman has a reason for it, but it comes with a cost. It does. You're not going to have a lot of people in the media that support you.
Yeah, I agree with you on that stance. But I will respect the man that's less visible but getting the work done than the guy that's always in front of the camera and giving you bullcrap and lying most of the times that they even on camera. I don't want nobody doing no interviews with me, and every time I fact check you what you saying, it comes back that you're lying.
Yeah, but you fact check, which makes you one of 100 people. Most people are not going to fact check what they hear. They repeat what they hear. That's the news. Remember, if you say this is breaking news, you are delivering news, right? So you have to trust that news. So people are going to take it as news. People's brains are not wired to question the news most time. It's just information that they're being given because it's being presented as new information for you. And you're going to assume that it's valid information most times. If people say, oh, the movie's going to start at this time, you just assume the movie's going to start at that time. You don't usually question it. However, certain YouTube channels, they can tell you what day the fight is, and you can know damn well you're just making up that date just so I can rely on you for information. And then they use that when you rely on them for information, then they give you the argument and the extra stuff on top of it. I'm telling you, man, I think these guys are paid actors. And when people are out here talking about it, they know very well what the fuck they're doing. They know the media has been around for a long time. They have schools of journalism. In the schools of journalism and mass communications, they teach you how to do these things. So that's what Eddie Hearn came and did. He on one hand, he big up and blows his own shit up well beyond proportion with usually talking about money. Says, I've got $2 billion that I'm going to sign fights in. I've got 70,000 people in the stadium, throwing a bunch of numbers around. And then nobody knows those guys at all. Their fighters are terrible. You've never even seen Al Heyman. He da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. That's how he wanted to break in the market. And that's why it didn't work for Eddie Hearn. But because you can make believe all you want. What really happens is the guys that you have to be able to fight. But these guys are more than willing to cheat people in fights too. Because there's been several fights where there's been cheating, where there's been gloves tampered with, where there's been people that have claimed they've been doped. Just, a lot of the stuff, man, a lot of scumbag stuff in boxing.
Yeah, man. That's crazy. But yeah, man, that's all I got, man. You staying on for long?
Yeah, I'll be on for a minute, man. Just gonna cook on a couple more things, bro. Appreciate you though, Anton.
Okay, I'm here in the chat.
All right, brother, get back.
All right,
Yes,
man.
sir. Yeah, man, that's a good conversation, man. Yeah, Eddie's game always exposed. I mean, that's just what it is. It's a game. You know what I mean? It's a game. I'm trying to figure out the game myself. Nobody ever gave me any game. Nobody's putting me on down on games. So a lot of y'all probably know more than I do. Yeah, they drain fighters, do a lot of different kind of crazy stuff. But for the most part, it's a lot of media. It's a lot of media drama. It's a lot of just silliness that goes on to try to impress upon the buying public that my product is better than your product. They do it on YouTube, like tear down other YouTube channels, steal their content, do the same topic other people do. You know, all of that nonsense, man. It's all that other nonsense. But at the end of the day, I wanted to talk about Gervonta Davis's resume today because I think that is an attack on that young man that is ridiculous. Because one thing I can say about every single solitary Gervonta Davis fight is that they've all been exciting. Every single one of them has been exciting. I've never said, oh, let me sit down and watch a Gervonta Davis fight. And I was like, I'm disappointed with the product that I've been given. However, you got people that have been constantly telling you that you should be disappointed with the product that you were given. I watched the Francisco Fonseca fight. I enjoyed the Francisco Fonseca fight. As a matter of fact, I enjoyed the fight itself. The last fight that Gervonta Davis had, which was the Lamont Roach fight, you guys talk all kind of bad about that fight. When I watched the fight itself, it was a very entertaining fight. Please put a 1 in the chat if you thought the Lamont Roach fight was an entertaining fight. I'm just curious. Put a 1 in the chat if you think that was an entertaining fight. I enjoyed it. Versus other fights that I've seen. Yeah, that Francisco fight was one of my favorites. Tank was clowning that fight. Yeah, put a 1 in the chat if you enjoyed the Francisco Fonseca fight. Phoenix Assassin says Justin Hawkins, Contrell, T Sizzle, Love and OG. See, that's what I thought. Like, it was an enjoyable. Kaz Ramont enjoyed it. Vel Wagner enjoyed it. Troy Hutch enjoyed it. AK Bruce Leroy, AKA Bruce Leroy enjoyed it. Lover to hate it enjoyed it. You see what I'm saying? That was an enjoyable evening. That was a good fight. I'm glad I had it. The Controller Girl said the Gamboa fight was exciting. Yeah. Like, wait, do we ever talk about things like that? Like, did you actually enjoy the fight? People want to talk about all kind of shit, but they don't want to talk about whether or not they actually enjoyed the fight that took place. The fight is bad before it happens, good while it does happen, then it's bad after it happens. Don't you see how the boxing writers and these media people are trying to manipulate you into not liking this young man? Seriously, they have all the tools in the world at their disposal to manipulate you into not liking this young man, even though if I ask you whether you or not you enjoyed Gervonta Davis's fights, you're going to tell me you enjoyed them. Without a doubt, you enjoyed them. Exactly. Devin versus Jose Ramirez was a trash fight. It was a trash fight itself. Like, when they got in the ring and you watched it, it was a trash fight itself. Every Shakur Stevenson fight that I have seen has been a decent fight. It was a decently enjoying fight. You're lying, T. Orlando. T. Orlando said, I don't enjoy Tank. T. Orlando is just out here lying, Tank. T. Orlando out here lying, bro. Like, seriously, let's talk about when we talk about, because none of y'all want to debate this with me. I know none of y'all want to debate. That's why I put debate in the title, bro. The highlight video between Devin and Ramirez is like 30 seconds, and it was all footwork. That's why you guys have to talk about skills. That's why, let me tell you, no joke. That's why, because the fights themselves are not that entertaining, That's why they have to try to focus you on how good they are technically. Let me telling you, it's a mind game. If your fighter is boring, let's talk about how technically great they are and how you just don't know shit about boxing because the guy that you're watching fighting is putting you to fucking sleep. Dog, nobody should have to have a PhD in boxing to enjoy a boxing match. Okay? Nobody should need the expertise of Roger Mayweather in order to enjoy a boxing match, bro. Nah, he telling the truth. Orlando text me how much he hates Tanks on random Tuesdays. Hell no, he enjoys that fight. He lying. They ain't even technically great. I'm just telling you though, man. That's where the conversation always goes. He like Deontay Wilder. That was the thing with Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder was so fun to watch. They had to explain it away by telling you how much they didn't like his technique. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying, bro. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying that Deontay Wilder's fights, with the exception of the fight that took place with like Joseph Parker, after he lost his fire, please tell me that you did not find Deontay Wilder fights entertaining. These dudes would actually pummel you in the comment section if you did not get mad that he didn't throw a straight punch. Like, hold on, man. I'm supposed to fucking be mad that his punches aren't straight? Yes. You're not a true aficionado of boxing if you are not pissed off to the end that this man's punches are wild, bro. I'm like, he's knocking the dude senseless. It looks good to me. No, that's because you're wrong. You're terrible for boxing. We need AJ with his flexing, bulging muscles. We need Tyson Fury in his fake boxing. Man, Tyson Fury is the biggest, oh my God, cheating ass, phony ass. Shakur is boring. I'm just telling you, bro. Like, can we please see like who is exciting to watch? Like Turkey Al-Sheikh, man. Seriously. Man, Ass Juice was funny as hell, bro. Man, I kind of miss those days, man. I have to like reboot my entire because when they go on these fucking hate campaigns against me, I gotta reboot my entire audience because these guys like have so many bots in the motherfucking thing. Let's talk about how most of these fighters don't go in there to actually hurt their opponents. This was the hurt business, but it's okay to just go 12 rounds. Go 12 rounds every fight without even trying. Yes. Hey, what up? Hey, Just Do, what up, man? How you feeling, brother? That dude named Dave in the building. What up, man? Oh, I said what's up to you, man. No, seriously, man. Let's talk about the fact that you guys don't ever want to talk about the fight itself. Like, there's a guy named Boxing Gyms. Dude, I fucks with Boxing Gym. I really do. He's a great channel when you want to learn what's going on in boxing. But most people that really will be watching those highly technical breakdowns are guys that are going to get in the ring and use those techniques. Bro, when I'm watching a movie, I don't want to always hear about the cinematography. I don't want to hear about how great the musical score was. I don't want to hear how great the eye movement no. I want to like the fucking movie. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes I just want to laugh at the movie. I don't care how goofy me and myself and Irene is. I be laughing my ass off and me, myself, and Irene. Why? Because the fucking movie's funny, bro. You can make a movie that is loved by the critics and be in that motherfucker the whole time being like, God dang, when you turn the lights on, bro. Like, seriously, man, the more they try to make it seems like the better they try to make the movie, the more they turn the lights down and the less you can see. You know what I'm saying? Like, say off topic, Aja Wilson's the GOAT. Hey, Aja Wilson's kind of sexy. Shout out to the AKAs. Ski wee. And she a woman. Hey, my favorite Devin Haney. Oh, I think I can. The guy say, hey, look. Yes, I think so. Where's the whole goddamn thing?
Dude, like my heart, bro. Like Tank. Like I had that little nigga with me at 14, 13, bro. His mama and them had to drive to Cincinnati to come get that nigga away from me, bro. Like this is my real little brother.
Okay.
Like for real, bro.
Did you ever see him spar any of them?
Yeah.
What happened? Who he sparred?
Y'all know what happened, man.
I don't know.
He sparred Devin, right? And
You was there?
hell yeah, I was there. And he sparred in About Billion shirt.
Gervonta?
Yeah. He got right off the plane, was fucking around, and went to the gym and sparred Devin. And I was about to fight Sean Porter. We was at Floyd gym, packed. I just had weighed in, right? And we went to the gym. It's packed, it's hot. They get in there. Tank hit that nigga. He hit him, boom. Then he hit him again, and he went out. I jumped in the ring. Because at the time, Devin is 17. I'm like, hell no, this is a kid. Hell no, it's gonna fall on us. If you know what I mean? If he really get fucked up like that. So what happened was Bill jumped in the ring, his dad, Haney, jump in the ring. And then it was about to go down. About Billions versus them niggas. It was about to go down. But it calmed down. It calmed down. And they got back to working, and Tank got a little bit more fatigue, and Dev got off a little bit, but it wasn't like really like getting off. It was just like some good ass work. Mm-hmm. But Dev he was in more shape. He was in better shape. Tank probably had a couple shots before.
That's for my guy. I'll put that on. I don't have the sound effects one. I don't know what happened to that. You got to send me that again, man. But anyway, yeah, we can watch that shit, man. Thank you so much, Jameson Childress. That was fun, man. Yeah, man, that's the day everything ended right there, bro. And then after that, Devin got beat up. This shit is funny, though. I ain't gonna lie, bro. This is the funniest shit right here, though. I ain't gonna lie, bro. The funniest shit is this shit right here, dude. This is funny. Oh, God, this is so funny.
You don't know what I've been training like. You don't know the vision I have. You do now. No, I'm on fire. I'm on fire. I'm on fire. I'm strong. I'm strong. Strong. Woo!
I don't know if Ryan Garcia is taking the fight serious or not.
I'm strong. I'm strong. Strong.
You tell me that dude Devin ain't protected, bro. That shit was...
let's wrestle, let's wrestle, let's wrestle.
NGQ, doing what I do. All white, looking nice. Okay.
By majority decision,
Big drama show.
Man, I swear to God, that shit made my day when I originally saw that, man. Man, the ref ain't shit, bro. Devin, dog, I'm still with what Deem said, man. I'm believing him, man. I'm with Deem, bro. Hey, man, thank y'all for supporting the channel today, for real. Super Chat Thursday and Jeep Red Boy with the big 10, the big 20 in that mug. And my guy, Jameson Childress, thank y'all so much, man. That shit is hilarious, bro. Man, for real. Y'all need to get off Gervonta. Let me talk to y'all for a second, man, if y'all don't mind. Y'all need to get off Gervonta Davis's nuts. This dude is one of the best things happening in the sport of boxing. Not only are all his fights entertaining, he also is a star maker. Once you fight Gervonta, you can go. And by the way, you can get up here too, sir. I'm going to put you on timeout, bro. Knuckle sandwich, bro. You're not allowed to talk unless you get on the link, bro. Devin Haney was 17 years old at the time, which means that Gervonta Davis was 20 at the time. I don't know how you know. I don't know if you know how time works, but if you want to say that's not Gervonta Davis right now fighting a 17-year-old Devin. The beautiful, oh God, it's so great. There's a midget boxing match in my weight is month. Should I go and support? Yeah. Yes, you should. You should go support, bro. Hell yeah. Dog, look, they got to make money. They got to make money. As long as you give them a tip and you treat them like human beings and you don't like do them like Devin would do them, hell yeah, man, go make that money, bro. You know what I'm saying? Give them some dough. Why not? What are they going to say? Don't you think they don't want to get money? You know what I mean? Let them get that money. Man, that shit was beautiful, man. That was beautiful. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. But yes, I would say that with the ref kicking it. Hey, Phoenix the Assassin says, hey, you got to send me that sound effects one again. Dev still fights the exact same way today. That is the saddest part about it all. Look at his amateur fights with Ryan and even fight Pitbull. His dad trains him. He's going to do the same thing, bro. He's going to do the same thing. His daddy, he hasn't left his daddy yet. You're never going to get to be your own independent person if you never leave your daddy. I'm telling you, man, because you'll never find out who you really are if you never leave your daddy. Sometimes kids got to leave their daddies. You know what I mean? Now, I do agree that you can stay with your parents, you know, for longer than what society tells us to stay with our parents for. You know what I mean? I think it's reasonable for kids to still be getting support from their parents when they're in their 20s, you know, 21, 22, you know, keep working with them, man. Fanon, did you react to Timothy Bradley saying he doesn't see a path for victory for Devin versus Brian Norman? I can do a reaction video to that. Tim Bradley is a top-ranked employee, and he will always be a top-ranked employee, and Devin Haney is fighting a top-ranked fighter. So I will start off by saying that, yeah, dog, I've heard that, and I need to actually do a video on that. I'll start talking more about that fight as that fight gets closer to being made. No joke, though, bro. This is my thought. Devin Haney is going to have to fight Brian Norman because Brian Norman is going to come to fight Devin Haney. Brian Norman is extremely confident, and Devin Haney's confidence is kind of shaken. Man, I hope he's not getting fed to the wolves. Dev Haney. Devin, that's the best I can say. I see a path. Run, nigga, run. Run, Ninja, run is the path, bro. He's got to stay on the outside. He just got to win. He's got to stink up the joint is what he's got to do. He just can't afford to get hit. He's got it. But my reaction to Tim Bradley saying it is that Tim Bradley, the closer we get to the fight, I think the more honest an opinion we'll get from him. Because I heard Tim Bradley say something else at some point about that fight. Bill said Devin was going to be one pushing Brian Norman back. Devin is trying to get. Bill must have a side bet on Brian Norman. Phoenix the Assassin. If that is true, Bill Haney must have a side bet on must have a side bet out there or something. Must be trying to set him up. Fight week, let's go Boots. Boots by 4th round stoppage, bro. Boots is going to get this guy out of there in about 4 rounds. I think Tim Bradley said this guy is coming to win. This guy got a chance. Good job for Tim Bradley, man. I'm glad Tim is trying to help out Boots and trying to promote this fight. But this dude is from Namibia or some shit. Where's Lima from? Where Lima from? It's going to be tough on a guy that's never been outside of fought outside of his home country. To come fight on the road. Man, this dude is 34-0. This man almost got as many fights as Bud. Usima Lima. Shit. You know what? I actually got to do some shit this morning. I just realized I got to take my wife somewhere. No, actually, he's a traveler. He's been around the world. He's around the world. Fought us several times in the UK. That makes sense. Last fight he was in, was that Ghana? He's from Angola. Yeah, he's probably going to get his ass knocked silly in this fight. Actually, you know what, man? I got to get up out of here. Damn. I hate that. I was having fun, but I got to take my wife somewhere. So let me roll up out of here a little bit early. Devin might need snack, an appetizer, or an entree to survive this fight. Look, only Devin's got a lot of experience, man. If Devin sits down and fights Brian Norman, he's probably going to get knocked out. You know what I mean? If he sits around it, but man, if he gets knocked out, bro, I'm going to feel sorry for Devin if he gets knocked out, bro. Because he got forced into this fight. And then I get to do my video on Devin Haney, my biography on Devin Haney. How will the biography of Devin Haney end? If he gets knocked out by Brian Norman, bro. Fanon, my man, my mellow. What up, David Lynch? How you feeling, brother? Man, let me tell you something. If Brian Norman Jr. knocks out Devin Haney, there's going to be suicide watch on YouTube. There's going to be drug accusations. There's going to be death threats. There's going to be hailstorms. Trust me, man. It's, you know what it's going to be like? It's going to be like the 7th Horcrux got killed in Harry Potter or some shit like that. No, seriously, bro. It's because Bill Haney's going to have to give an actual reason for being around everybody else. Oh, man, that shit it's all Bill Haney's fault, bro. Devin Haney is nothing to Bill Haney's Horcrux. The dream deferred. A Devin Haney story. Dog, what will the story of Devin be, man? The story of Devin and the story of Tank are the story of two boys whose star-crossed paths met as one heads to the destination that was originally intended for the other. Devin Haney was born a young man, the dream of his father. Devin, the dream of Bill Haney, was destined to be a star. When he was born, he was on a manger. I am to the I have a dream story. No joke. Devin dream turned to it. I'm serious, man. Like we started off with him as a child, prodigy in the boxing world. By the age of 8 years old, he was already holding championship belts and walking them into the ring for undisputed championships, which foretold his future, which he did become. There was an infamous day that took place when his father made a bet, but the bet ultimately paid off. It was won the battle but lost the war.
You know what I mean? Nah, niggas was hanging out.
Seriously, this was the day. I want you guys to know that this will be if he gets knocked out by Brian Norman Jr., you can go back to this day as Gervonta Davis. This kid right here was the sparring partner. Remember this. Gervonta Davis was the sparring partner for Devin Haney during this. Think about this. Gervonta Davis was brought in as a sparring partner for the future star of the sport of boxing, the next Floyd Mayweather Jr., Devin the Dream Haney, who was just short of making his professional debut. Really, that's true. Gervonta was a prodigy from Baltimore that was flown in with Adrian Broner on a $20,000 bet with Floyd Mayweather Jr. Let's watch. Look, Floyd's in the ring. Look who's in the ring. Floyd Mayweather Jr. is in the ring. This is a huge Badu Jack is looking on. Look, that's Badu Jack, man. That's the guy that Floyd's cousin. I can't remember his name. Dwayne. Forgive me for not remembering his name. Floyd, the money team, man. And what happens? This kid, the one in the red, winds up winning a $20,000 bet for his father. This guy winds up getting signed and moving on to $150 million payday, million pay-per-view sales, sold out arenas, while Devin is now working on an undercard. Let me repeat. Devin is in a life and death fight on an undercard. Now, Devin can recover from this by beating Brian Norman Jr. And he's got to take advantage of Brian Norman Jr.'s flaws. He's got to execute his game plan. He's just got to get to the finish line, knowing full well, bro, that he got another undercard waiting for him when he get done. I'm sorry I'm being a jerk, but no joke, bro. You guys are trying to tear down Gervonta Davis because you don't like the fact that it's Gervonta Davis that made it to the top and not Devin Haney. There's been a competition going on between Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney's camp for a very long time, and Gervonta Davis won. To quote an AB, Tank hit that ninja. Boom. Yes, he did. And I want to remind you guys of that. And now, guess what? I hope Brian Norman hit Devin Haney with that Mortal Kombat fatality, because if Devin win, they'll start calling him the BOAT. Best of all time. Oh, yeah. He can still make it, though. That's what I was going to say. He still has his room, though. He got his room. He can make it if he tries. But look, let me get up out of here at this even 1 hour and a half. Let me read these cash. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me get the super chat. I do believe I got super chats. Cash App, I don't think that I thank somebody for, but let me thank you for it. My guy, Bron Shamak, says, love the show. Thank you, Bron Shamak. Appreciate you so much for that $2 holler, brother. Barbara D said, I'm not in the chat today, but I'm listening. Thank you so much. for the support. Thank you for so much for the support, Barbara D. And Chandra Streeter Robinson with the $5 donation. Thank you. Sharonda Streeter Robinson. Thank you so much, sister. Thank you for that support. It means a lot. And that's new people supporting the channel. It means a lot. And Tim Carey said, roll the tape again. Oh, for sure. I'll roll both.
Like, you weren't good in the beginning, remember? Like, nobody took you serious. You don't know what I've been training. Like, you don't know the vision I have. You do not know I'm on fire. I'm on fire. I'm on fire. I'm strong. I'm strong. I'm strong.
I don't know if Ryan Garcia is taking the fight serious or not.
I'm strong. I'm strong. I'm strong.
Let's wrestle. Let's wrestle. Let's wrestle. GQ, doing what I do. All white, looking nice. Okay.
By majority decision,
Big Drama Show.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a wonderful day. With that, I'm out. Deuces.